What's up, guys? Welcome to your Bitcoin update. Let's see what's going on here. Was this the top up here and we're looking for 5 waves down, or do we get another move up? We're going to zoom in. We're going to take a look at the sub count within the big count. We could possibly still go a little higher. We'll take a look at where that is. But as of right now, if you look at this does look bullish on the RSI, unless, of course, we break down from this trend line on the daily. We'll see what happens. We'll keep up on this in the next few days. Let's get the RSI off there for a minute and look at our breakdown. We had been looking at this rising wedge with a measured move target of somewhere between, depending on which time frame you look at, somewhere between 51 and 53,000. If you guys haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash that thumbs up, and let's get into it. But anyways, right now in the daily, we are getting support on the 8 EMA right here. If we were to come back up and blow through this trend line, which would also be the bottom of this wedge, and this would be with sometime this week at the 69.1, then I would look for much higher. But I don't believe it will break through there. We'll see. Again, we're going into the smaller sub counts, and let's take a look at that now. All right, so as you guys know, I have been looking for another 5 waves count, something like we've seen over here. But first of all, we have to break through and maintain under the green trend line here. As long as we're above that, there's always a possibility we go higher. There's 2 counts here, but both of them suggest we get down to the 53,000 area, in my opinion. Even the bullish count suggests that. As you can see last time over here, if we move this over, this was wave 1. And as you guys know, I shorted at 66.8. I am still in that short. I will be closing it if we get to the levels I'm going to tell you about here in a minute. But anyways, and that will be closed in profit. So, but anyways, this wave 1 took 11 days. It doesn't mean this one's going to take 11 days. That's just giving me something to go by. And again, I still believe we go down to that 53,000 range, and I'll show you why, and then we'll look at the sub counts also. So this would be what I'd be looking for, although that one went down a little bit further. But if you look, there's also a fractal in there. Let's take a look at the bullish case, and then we'll move on to this bearish case. But let's take a look at this fractal right here. If I draw another arrow right over to here, this suggests that it may only go down, to 51 to 53,000 if this fractal played out the same as it did back here. And then we could look at a possible bullish case looking something like this with another distribution at the top, but that would get the high up. I still do not see $100,000 at the end of the year. I highly, highly, highly doubt that is possible. But anyways, it could be. We'll see. But that would put, even the bullish case would get it to about 73, maybe 75,000 tops. But I don't think it'll reach 100,000. For one, everybody's expecting to sell there, so it'll probably never get there to allow them to sell so they can ride this all the way back down. But anyways, so looking at this, if it is a wave 1 forming, let's zoom in here a little bit now. All right, so if it was first, let me click over real quick. If we look at this chart here, where is it? I thought I had a smaller time frame chart in here for us to look at. Oh, I did. It was this one. If I go down to the hourly, this shows what we could be seeing here. There's 2 measured move targets if we break through the top of this. Now, let's take the Fibonacci retracements from the swing high down to the swing low, which would be, don't forget to smash likes, guys. Swing high to the swing low. So that puts our golden pocket zone around the highest 64.4, right in that range. I'm going to put my stops up there just in case, because if that happens, I'll be looking for the 65,384. And as you guys know, I've been talking about wave 3 being the one you want to catch if this does continue down, which should be over here. It's somewhere 60 to 62,000 after a bounce from 51 or 53,000. Let's go back over here. So this measured move, if you're looking at this as a bull flag, right? You take the measured move of this flagpole, which would start from the break right here. That would get us up exactly to that 0.786, which is 60. We're going to go ahead and put a target on there. This is somewhere I'll be looking to short if it goes up here. Again, my short stops will be at 64.5. If I get stopped out there, I'll be looking for another entry. And mind you, if I get stopped out there, I'm still in massive profits from the short from 66.8. So anyways, now on the shorter target, if we just look at this as a falling channel, and if we did break out, let me get this out of the way now. That's no longer valid. There's a few other ways people are looking at this. We'll look at that also. I noticed people in our Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord, links down below in the description. Totally free, guys. But this would get us up to the golden pocket zone between 64.1 and 64.4. But again, if it is a bull flag, then it could get us as high as this 65.3. If it got up to this 65.3, I would believe that would be the subwave 2 of wave 1 down. If we haven't completed it here, this could be the completion of subwave. And I'm showing you guys how to measure these now. So, and again, I'll never tell you when to short, when to long, when to buy, when to sell. I'll show you what I'm doing. So here we go. So if we went from right here, say we don't break this top at 63,750. If we don't break that, and this was the end of wave 2, which is a sub count of the bigger wave, right? So if that's the case, this 1.618 lines up with about 51.3. Now, let's say we get up to that 60, what was that? 65.4, let's say. So let's say we get up there and that's wave 2. That would be right about here. That gets our target to about 52.5 for wave 3, and then a bounce up for wave 4. And then wave 5, looking for an end of wave 1. If you guys are looking for a good position to long, I would be looking for down here to the 51 to 53,000, and then looking for another short if we make a wave 2, in my opinion. Now, let's take a look at what everybody else seems to be talking about in the Discord. They're looking at this as a head and shoulders. Let me draw it in there real quick. This being a left shoulder, this being the head, and this being the right shoulder. And then a break of this line right here will give us the target. Let's do that. See what that target gets us to. You do a measured move of it. And we'll take a look at the DXY also here in a minute, and the Dow Jones. So let's go down to this next line, where is in blue here. You can see where we have our 1, 2, 3 touches. So if this broke somewhere over here, that would get us down to right around that $52,000 range. So all that area is very confluent to where we could be headed. So be careful. I know a lot of people are screaming new all-time highs from here, but guys, be careful. I think we're going to see that 51 to 53,000. No guarantees. There's no guarantees in any market, but I'm definitely looking for that. I just showed you why. So if we did top there, it could look something like this. Wave 3 is always pretty quick. And the reason I was saying October 31st for the bottom here is just because the last one took 11 days. It doesn't have to be exact if this does play out the way I believe. Let's take a look at this. This was another thing we were watching. We did get the bounce off here. If we took a measured move, I know this is where the people are getting really bullish when we broke this line, and that's looking for about a 77,000. Again, that is a possibility if we maintain above this trend line here, but we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm looking for more downside. Again, we could go up as high as that 65.3. That is still a possibility. If we zoom in right now, we're getting support on the 0.382 fib. As of right now, our body's being supported on there, but we do have 28 minutes left on this hourly candle. Switch it over to the 4-hour. And same thing, it's sitting right on that 0.382 fib right there. So Bounce up, like I said, could get us up to this golden pocket area. And if that breaks, my stops will get me out of my shorts here. And I'll be looking for another short position around 65.4, somewhere in that range. Let's look at the DXY. DXY, I drew this in there yesterday. If you guys follow me on Twitter, if you don't, give me a follow. It's at CryptoSavvy1. How do you measure your 3-wave move down from the second wave? With the Fibonacci extension. I'll go over that again in a second, but first of all, we broke through this falling wedge here, and yesterday I posted that we should get a bounce off it. I thought it was going to be yesterday. I put this arrow in, but it does look like it was today. So we'll see what happens, how this daily closes, or this 4-hour closes. It may close with a little bit of divergence here, so saying more downside. But all in all, this did look like a nice push up. And as you guys know, I will zoom out on the daily and show you where we got our bounce off our support, just like we were expecting. And I do believe the dollar is going to continue up much higher. Here's my measured move. It doesn't mean it goes there in a day, guys, but I do believe dollar is headed up here. And when the dollar rises, markets come down. The Dow Jones, I've had my target for the top right here at around 36,000. There's still a possibility, you know, we could get a little retracement here, come up and still retest this trend line on the top. Or we could be finished here and just go straight down. So be cautious, be careful. Gold, I am still looking for C-wave down on gold. I've been looking for this for a while. We drew this way back here after looking at this as an ABC down. But again, we'll see what happens there. Silver, you guys know my targets are around 20. If that breaks, around 15. Litecoin is getting support. Let me move this over. You guys can see the red line. And I'd said if Litecoin can keep getting support, as long as it doesn't drop below this 189, you could see 222. If it's able to break up above that, you'd be looking for 259. It is showing slight bullish divergence here. But remember, you got to watch what Bitcoin does. It will take it with it. Ethereum, we had this target since October 2nd. We put this target in when we broke this falling channel. That was 43,335. We did get a little above it. We got to 43.80 or somewhere in that range. As long as this holds as resistance, I think we at least come down to retest this 36.22 range. Otherwise, if it does break this, it could be going to a new all-time high. But as of right now, this is holding as good resistance. Let's go over to XRP. Still looking at XRP here, guys. The only way this gets bullish is a break of $1.21. Otherwise, I see it coming back down to retest these levels under $1. And it could end up making something like this, which would be a ascending triangle, which would give a measured move. Actually, we go from way over here. It would be ugly. We'll just say that. That would get us back down to the main trend line here for XRP, which isn't out of the question. We'll see what happens, guys. Like I said, if you want to be bullish on XRP, I would wait till over 121. And SHIB. So this is what I'm looking at here. And this is just a measured move right here. Looking at that as a possible bull flag, that would get it up to around 56. If that was to happen, I think there's going to be a massive dump again there, if it can even get up there. You guys know I don't like playing these crap coins, but for those that do, there you go. That's what I'm looking at. Anyways, I think that's about it for the day, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate it, guys. And we're dropping below that. We still have 4 hours left on the 4 hour, but we are dropping below that 0.382 fib. The next line of support here is going to be around that 61.2. And if that breaks, like I said, then I believe we could, if this low breaks, I believe this might have been wave 2, but we have to break this low first, which is around 59,475. And then that would be looking something like this. But there is one more level to watch here. And that would be looking at this as an ABC. If it does continue down and breaks this low, you could get a fake out. That would be right around here, which would be the 1-to-1 extension. And that would be looking at this as an ABC before more upside. But again, everything is pointing down to about 50. It would be an ABC, something like this. So that's another thing you might want to watch for. Right there, getting a nice bounce from 56.2. Although I would think we would get a bounce up there anyway, so be cautious with that. You might get a bounce up, come retest this trend line around 60,000 and then continue down for wave 3. So just be cautious, be careful. Crazy times right now. Like I said, a lot of stuff is pointing down to this 51 to 52,000 range. So that's where I'm at with it. Take it easy, guys. Somebody, Blood Moon said, why October 31st? Go back. And that's just an estimate because this wave 1 here took 11 days, and 11 days from where this started, I think would be around the end of the month. So, and again, it doesn't have to be exact. That's just giving us an idea of when we may see the bottom if it does head down here. So, all right, guys, have a good one. I'm out.